Hello, it's Madeline Edwards and welcome back to Behind Broadcast Vlog. Here I am in my room and I am preparing for tomorrow. I have an interview for a story, so I want to do showing you the behind the scenes of getting your camera stuff ready before an interview. So this is what I like to do the night before, typically, with getting ready to make sure I'm all ready so that tomorrow morning goes smoothly before I have to go and do my interview. So first things first is batteries. So you have, hold on one second, I have 2 batteries, and typically I charge them both, and I have one already charged, and then it's just one that's been in the camera that needs to be recharged, but I like to double check and make sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my charger. So this is the little charging box to put them in. And it's plugged into my wall, but I'm not going to show you my wall. You don't need to see where it's plugged in. That's pretty self-explanatory, I would hope. So you take the battery and you see this. You kind of got to play around with it a little bit and see the green light is on. That means it's charging, and then I hit check. And check shows that it's charging, see, with the little thing. So now I'm going to take my other battery and I am going to also play around with that one to get that one in. All right, and see, that shows, it's going to show in a second, hold on. It doesn't have the light on, so it's not currently charging, but look, it shows that it has all 4 bars. And when it has all 4 bars, that means it's charged, so I don't need to have that on the charging dock. So I can take that one off because that one's charged. Sorry, that was with the frame. So then the next thing I do is I check my mic. So we have the loft mic. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna open it up and I turn it on. And this is the one that you put on the person you interview or yourself for a stand-up. So okay, so mine shows, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of, there we go. It's 2 bars. It's at 2 bars. So usually that's good. That's okay. But probably for next week, I'll probably switch it. So halfway through this week, I'll probably switch it over. Or when I'm getting ready next week to do an interview, I'll switch it over. But so you check that mic. But then I also have to check the mic on my camera that connects this mic to the camera. So just hold on 1 second. And so it's connected to the camera, obviously. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna press the on button here. I'm gonna take a look at it. And this shows that I don't know if you can see it. I'm really sorry, I'm using my phone and it's kind of crappy. But it shows that it is full. So, and I can just shut that off. So I know I'm all ready for my microphones. So then the next thing that I like to check, this is a personal check kind of thing, but I like to check and make sure that I didn't move any channels for my audio level on the side, and that's just on the side. So I check and I make sure that my input 1 which is the mic, is on mic and on input 1. And then I check and I make sure, ooh, sorry, it's hard for you to see, that input 2 is also on mic, but it's on Intel, INT, which is the natural sound, your natural sound. So if you don't have that, this is typically the one that people get messed up the most, is they'll accidentally have it on the wrong setting, and then, they won't have that right. So then we check here, and do I have an SD card in? I actually don't have mine in because I used it and then I didn't put it back in my camera. So for that, I actually have it. Hold on 1 second. I keep my SD card in my wallet. Why, you ask? Because I'm weird. No, it's because I keep this with me at all times, typically. So this is just something I have with me. You don't have to keep yours in here. I just happen to keep mine in my wallet because that's something I always have with me, because my keys are connected to it. So then you have your SD card and you put that puppy in. So I just gotta, this is not the most safe way to hold this here. I'm gonna hold it like this. And then I just gotta, you know, put in, make sure I have in. So now my SD card is in, so we're gonna be all good for that. Sorry if I'm like, this is new for me, so, you know, I'm just trying. So then I've checked my SD card, I've checked my mics, I've checked my batteries. So those are like the key important things to check to make sure. And then another thing I like to do, which is kind of more like it's not as much a tech thing as it is like just making sure you know what you're doing thing, is I like to check my phone, which is in front of me. I'm using my phone as a camera, but I like to check through my phone to make sure I have my questions already and prepared, because I like to do my questions in my phone. So what I usually do is I will, as I'm looking up on my computer ideas for a story, I take down little notes for like who I'm gonna call or who I'm gonna email and who I'm gonna contact. So then after I do that, then I contact them and stuff, and I take down notes. But then those notes that I take down in my notebook, I transfer over to my phone, because it makes it a lot easier when I'm doing the interview if I just have my phone to look through for questions instead of using a notebook, because sometimes that's hard with making sure that you have everything right. So that's basically it for like getting ready, like the night before an interview or the day before an interview. It depends on like how it's run. Like obviously if you're someone who's doing this every day, I'm not, I'm doing it every week for school. If you were doing it every day, this is just a simple check that you would do after you are putting your gear away, is making sure that everything is put in the right place that it should be. So I hope this was a little helpful, and if not helpful, at least informative for you, so you know a little bit more about how you prepare before you have an interview with your camera equipment and stuff. And this is also something you could do right before. I mean, the battery thing you should do way ahead, but everything else you could probably do right before if you wanted. I usually double check because sometimes I don't trust myself and trust my memory. But yeah, so that is the kind of like before an interview type thing. So stay tuned for the next one, and thanks for watching. Bye.